360 here on the go. Well, not actually quite on the go. Just came back from seeing Wonder Woman. I thought that since it is a DC movie and I love Marvel, but DC has a special place in my heart, I thought that I would do a review of what I thought about it. So this is my Zoom review of Wonder Woman. First and foremost, I'm glad that they did this movie. This has been really overdue. Especially I think that Wonder Woman is just about the main female character in the DC world. I think there's quite a few other females, but she's like the main one. You know, usually with the the Justice League, she's the only, I think, female out there. I like that because I kind of like things to be diverse. It just looks more interesting to me. So I'm glad that they finally did a film for her. So but this video, I'm not going to give out spoilers, I guess, because just in case if you haven't seen it, I don't want to ruin it for you, but I'm gonna try to keep it very broad. So I'm gonna go ahead and just go over what I thought about it. Let's start with the story. I have a list here just to make sure that I don't forget something. Let's start with the story. I thought they did something really smart that they've been doing in films these days. Transformers use that quite extensively. Like they just use something that actually happened in history, and they kind of blend it in with the Transformers film story, which is what they did here in this film. I think it was really smart. I like how they blended the Wonder Woman story with World War I. I thought it was really awesome. It kind of worked out for the movie, though that we know that there wasn't a Wonder Woman fighting in World War I, as far as I know, as far as the history books are concerned. But I like how they use that to kind of fuse the story with Greek mythology and Wonder Woman and World War I. I thought it was great. It worked out for the movie. I thought that was a good thing about it. The uniform. The one from BVS was a start. It was like the first Iron Man's, that uniform from BVS, I thought it was a good start. It was like the Iron Man suit, Mach 1 in Iron Man, and then of course later on he refined it with the Mach 2 and 3 and 4, all that good stuff. So the uniform from BVS was okay. It kind of reminded me of that 90s show, Xena Warrior Princess. If you guys have not seen that show, I think that you guys should watch it. I think it's still good for the times. It was a spin-off of another show called Hercules starring Kevin Sorbo. Yeah, so that was a good run that they had there, with those two shows in the 90s. But yeah, I thought it was very Xena Warrior Princess type because the uniform didn't have any color, but I'm glad they added the colors in the uniform for this movie. I'm glad we didn't get stuck with the uniform from the cartoons and the comics, because I didn't like that uniform. I think that was one of the main reasons why I didn't really care about Wonder Woman too much, because I couldn't take her outfit seriously. It wasn't it didn't strike fear in you. It just was not like looking at Flash, Superman, Green Lantern. I'm glad we didn't get stuck with that uniform. I thought that the uniform was very tough looking. It was worthy of a warrior, though that of course she had quite a bit of skin exposed. Just the nature of the suit, I understand, but it was much better than that bathing suit that from the comics and from that show. I'm glad that they went with that, so good job. The other thing was Gal herself. I remember the first time I saw Gal it was in Fast 6, if I remember correctly. She was very, very slender, but of course, you know, she looked really good. When I heard that she got casted, I was like, how's she going to pull that off? Because she's really, really skinny. But she did put on some weight for this movie, but still fairly slender. But surprisingly, I think she did well, especially in the face. You know, she really looked like Wonder Woman. And she still looked okay physically in terms of, you know, because her being skinny, I think she still pulled it off. Surprisingly, the accent also worked for her. I think because of the exotic island where they lived, and she speaks all kinds of languages. I guess it's very fitting that, you know, she speaks English with an accent, though you don't really notice it, but it's there. I don't know exactly where she's from, but I think it worked well for her. I think she did okay. She did great, actually. I think that she did great, basically. The support cast, Captain Steve, Trevor. I thought that Chris Pine did well with this character, because this type of character could have been easily just overtaken by the character of Wonder Woman, but it didn't. You know, Chris Pine's character kind of held his own, and the jokes that he made were not, you know, too much or too little. You know, the jokes fell right into place. The like stuff like the innuendos, it kind of worked really well. So, and you know, the other guys, you know, those guys were funny, and they were really very special types of people. And so that was awesome. And one more thing about the story. From BVS, I knew that, or had a feeling that the picture where Wonder Woman was in the picture with the other guys, I knew that the movie was going to touch on that, and that's exactly what they did. So I don't think that's too much of a spoiler. I think it was a given because it was in the previews, but I like how they used it just to expound more on where this picture came from. So that was great. There are some things I didn't like. Surprisingly, what I didn't like was what I was anticipating that I would like the most, which was the action sequences. I think that what they planned was awesome. The way they went about filming it, the choreography was great, but where they ruined it was that they overused the slow motion style. Because what it did to me is that I didn't really feel the action. I saw it, it looked really good, but I didn't really feel it. Like, for example, certain moves that she did, like, you know, midair, it's like some punches, some sweeps. It's like, because they slowed it so much for so long, you know, it didn't feel like, okay, she punched a person, and you sitting down there watching the movie, you can like feel that, wow, he got really knocked the heck out. It's like she slowly punched a person, or slowly swept a person, or I don't know. It's just they overused the slow-mo, slow motion shots. They use them way too much. Like, especially the end when well, I'm not gonna say exactly what she did, towards the end, but again, they slowed it down so much. It's like, at some point, it's like I was staring at a picture and not like a moving picture. So I think, so again, I think with their overall use of the slow motion techniques, they overused it. And because they overused it, I just didn't feel the action. It's like, it kind of felt like fake action, like you're watching like a TV show instead of a feature film. So that kind of brought it down a notch for me, surprisingly, because that's not what I was expecting. The sexual scene. Now, there wasn't there wasn't a sexual scene in there, thank God, because I don't think that a film like that called for one. I hate when they add, you know, sex scenes in films where that it's not even necessary. They just added it there because they figure that, you know, people want to see this actor or you know, this actress in bed with their co-star. They just find a way to make it happen. Now, but again, I'm trying not to spoil it. Okay, there may have been one, but probably there wasn't one. But I'm not saying. But based off with the dynamic between Captain Trevor and Wonder Woman, it kind of leaves you there to insinuate that something happened. And I think, and I don't like that personally for the same reason I didn't like in BVS, the scene with you know, Superman in the tub with Lois. And even if you go as far back as Superman 2 with Christopher Reeve, when, you know, he was in bed with Lois in the Fortress of Solitude, I still don't like that because I think these kinds of scenes with superheroes, it kind of cheapens the hero, especially those types of heroes. I think it just cheapens them. But at least the way they did it, you know, they kind of let let your imagination run with it. They didn't actually show you anything. I hope that wasn't a spoiler, but that kind of didn't sit well with me that they connected that way. So I'm, you know, maybe that's just me though. I don't know. But and last but not least, things I didn't like, which I was expecting from this type of movie, and of course, you know, considering the times that we live in, I didn't like some of the themes I saw through the dialogues in this movie, like, you know, feminism themes. Somewhere in there, they even had a little bit of racism themes in there that kind of insinuate some things. So I kind of noticed that. I didn't expect the racism theme to creep in there, but it did. But the feminism theme I'm not too comfortable with, but that's just me. So overall, I think it was a great movie from a scale to 1 to 10, where 1 is the least, 10 is or worst, and 10 is the best. I'd say it's a solid 7. So basically, I think it's a good movie. I think that especially the action slow-mo really killed it because you want to go in there and see Wonder Woman really, you know, kick butt. You know what I mean? So I didn't really feel like during the action scene that I was like, wow, I felt that punch or I felt that kick. I kind of felt like at some points it felt like she was just, you know, faking. It came through looking too fake. And it's because they slowed a lot of the shots down. Like if you look back at movies, and I'm gonna keep it, you know, Zack Snyder films, because he's the one that made this one. If you go back to with the Man of Steel, like when you look at the fighting scenes when he was fighting Zod midair, like the shot when he was flying and, you know, punching Zod, and Zod of course would go further out there, then, you know, he kept flying, then, you know, give him the right, then, you know, flying, give him the left. It's like there were some slow motion there, but it was like maybe 1 second or half a second, but they kind of didn't do it too slow so that they don't cheapen the, you know, the shot. So whenever that you know, Superman actually hit Zod, you felt that punch. It's like whoa, but I just didn't get the action from the movie, and that's what I was like really waiting on, and that's what kind of makes the you know, superhero to be awesome or not. So there you have it, my Zoom review. Of course, take it with a grain of salt because hey, I'm just criticizing it from my point of view, but I think it's still overall. I think you like the movie. I mean, when I went, I liked the movie. I didn't come out saying, "Oh my gosh, that was horrible." I had a great time, so I gave it a solid 7. Of course, if you haven't seen it, go see it. I don't think I gave spoilers. I came close, I think, And also, last and not least, who you think the bad guy is, it's really not who you think. And I don't think that's a spoiler. So, all right, so that's it. I'm gonna be filming again pretty soon, hopefully. I'm gonna hit the road pretty soon, so I'll be in touch. So until then, that's all I got. Like, subscribe, share, and I'm out.